So this is a really, really smart way to play pentatonics using the economy picking technique. I made this kind of little lick where I really make use of all the what do you say creativity that you can use with using fingerings and working together with the pick. In order to get some stuff that would be a really drag playing with alternate picking anyway, which was, for me anyway, would be pretty much impossible to play it at this speed. So it's a really cool way to play a scale that has always been kind of the nemesis of the guitar player who wants to use his pick instead of legato or tapping. So I think this is a really, really cool way to do that. So I made a little lick for you here that is very usable when you improvise. It has kind of that little bit the sound, I guess, of Eric Johnson, who also has this kind of sound. But I made this this system that I want to introduce to you also. Where you can play, among others, the pentatonic scale, just the traditional scale, really, really quick with the pick by using some specific fingerings. So, but that's another story. First off, I want to show you this lick, how I do it. So the fretting hand looks like this. Emphasize that I create a very, very, very specific fingering that when you see it, it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense, especially when you see it slowly here, what I just do. But I create this type of technique. I'm very aware of what feels the best for the hand, so I can quickly get some momentum with the speed, and because the whole idea is to make use and make it as easy as possible for the pick, because the pick is pretty much almost impossible to get some kind of speed playing pentatonics with alternate picking. So I'm really being very creative with the way that I use fingerings and the shapes that I play, the patterns that I play. And let me just show you the pick. So the notes that I'm playing is, first of all, it's a G sharp minor pentatonic scale. The notes that I play are 19 with the pinky, and then 16 with the index finger here on the high E string, and then I go into the B string with my ring finger, not a B string but a B string, a 19th fret as well, and then into the G string with my pinky on the 20th fret, and then I use my long finger, and I'm gonna explain to you exactly what I'm doing. I'm using my long finger for 18 and then my index finger for 16 on the G string. So, and then I use my long finger for the D string, 18th fret, and index finger for 16th fret. Then I go up again. Well, the explanation is that it just feels right for me to play this particular pattern using these two fingers. Normally I will use my ring finger, but just for this particular pattern this feels right. So I got 2 notes on the high E string, 1 on the B, 3 on the G string, 2 on the D string. Then immediately after playing 16th fret on the D string, I go up again to the G string, 18 and then 16 on the D. Then I go in again to the D string with my long finger playing 18 and only play one note. And then I will use my little finger for 21st fret on the A string, and then 18 on the A string and 16. So, and then I go into the low E string with my pinky playing 19, and then 16 with my index finger. And then I go back again to the A string with my ring finger this time for this pattern, for this interval, which is opposite of what I did on the G and D string. But because of what happens next, it makes sense for my hand anyway. So ring finger on 18, index finger on 16 on the A string. And then I use my long finger now for 16 on the low E. Little finger again here on 19 on the low E, and then long finger for 16, and then 14 with the index finger. Back again to the ring finger now on 16 and index finger on 14. So it looks like a whole, like a mess, but it's very well thought out that this is just what it needs to get up the tempo. And I'm very particular about, once I've decided on a fingering, and then I'll do this every time, and not this is maybe the most critical thing about this technique, and of course also a lot of other techniques, but you have to make sure that you decide on a fingering and a picking pattern, and then you stay with that forever. So because then it makes sense for the fingering, for the picking, and that's what it's all about in this technique. So down, up, up. Let me show you the pick instead. Down, up, 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 down, up, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down. So some patterns, of course, in this technique, it consists of a, or let me say it another way. When I play an uneven amount of notes, I continue in the same direction. Once I play an even number, I continue, I change direction, sorry. So that also means that you have to make sure that the way you start your pattern, that makes sense with the rest of the pattern. So when I start this one, I know that I'm gonna play back, I'm gonna descend, so I'm gonna start with a downstroke and play two notes on this high E string. So down, up, and then I continue with the up, 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 down, up, up, down, down. So you can see the two notes with the pattern with the two notes make me go back again to ascend. So that's the whole idea. So again, I want you to check out the links under here. First of all, you can download the tablature, but you also want you to check out my program. I got a whole system on this, being able to play pentatonics really fast using this technique. And I've made some all new patterns where you can play the scales in a natural way, so you don't have to shift around notes and make the scale kind of, not incomplete, but played in a weird sequence, like there's a lot of people who's doing that, which is always, never liked that. I always thought that would be kind of a bad decision to change the sequence of the notes because of the technique. That's always seemed like a bad deal for me. So and for that reason, one of those reasons, I created this system. So I want you to check that out also here in the link under here, the video.